And welcome to Mount Lion Park, already underway here in game number 2. One out for the Mount Lions, or one out for the Roadrunners. A 6-3 play by Zach Paschke as he's retired already here against game number 1. The Mount Lions will bring out starter Chris Mamano, 3-0 record on the season, 20 strikeouts, 6.44 ERA. For the Mount Lions, Chase Anderson, the left fielder at the plate for MSU Denver, as that pitch goes out a little bit outside for ball number 1. UCCS already secured a split of the series with an 8-0 win in game number 1. It came after a 13-5 win yesterday in the series opener yesterday at Security Service Field. That pitch is fouled off for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Jake Anderson, the left fielder. Logan Sewell, the designated hitter, on deck as the leadoff batters for MSU Denver here in game number 2. 1-1 count, top of the first, 1 out. Here in game number 2, Chris Mamano delivers the pitch for the Mount Lions. A little bit lost his footing, but that pitch is a little bit out for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Chase Anderson at the plate. Largely the same lineup, a few new players at the bottom of the lineup. Cade Peters and Jimmy Hollinger in for MSU Denver at the 7 and 9 spots. That ball well hit in the right field. It's going to be Norton who's going to have to move it over. Rumsey also trying to make a play on it. Bounced off the bottom of the wall. It'll be at least a double for Pash Anderson. He's going to try to make it a third, and he slides in and is able to do so safely. So a triple for Jake Anderson on a 1-out triple here in the top of the first as he makes it all the way over to third. Well hit ball right at about the right center sign at about 385. And now brings up Logan Sewell, the designated hitter for MSU Denver. MSU Denver coming into this game right now, 26-12 overall, 19-7 in the conference. And it's a pitch now from Mamano, fouled off on the left side for strike number 1. UCCS now just one game behind MSU Denver in the standings. That ball fouled off again on the left side. Count now goes 0-2 for Logan Sewell. (0-2) count here, top of the first inning, 1 out with a runner on a third for MSU Denver. That ball hit in the left field. It'll be Berg to make the play. Runner on a third will go. That'll be a 7-2 play at the plate, and they were able to get him. No, safe by the home plate umpire. That looked like out from here, folks. I agree with UCCS on that play. It looked like it was a clean 7-2 play. It looked like Anderson was just far enough outside the base path. Dave Hadjic out there to argue the call as well. Either way, 2 outs for sure on that fly ball to left field. I don't know if we're able to pull a replay up or not on that play, but that looked like that was a clean out at a home plate. As MSU Denver with the 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. Looks like the play will stand. As MSU Denver now with the first run of the day. Here comes a pitch from Mamano, called strike by home plate umpire. Umpires rotate around a little bit. You got looks like we're 0-1 pitch now on the way from Mamano. Strike number 2. So 0-2 count now at the plate for Matt Malkin, now the first baseman. See Chris Mamano right there, the junior for UCCS. MSU Denver with the 1-0 lead. 0-2 pitch now on the wide. That ball set over to McDermott. He fields it cleanly. Has time to get over to first. Has pulled off the bag a little bit. They're able to apply the tag on the process going in. So a 6-3 play. So Mount Lions down 1-0 already here in the top of the first inning after Chase Anderson hits a triple, and then he later scores on a sac fly from Logan Sewell. Go to the bottom of the first. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Bottom of the first inning, UCCS down 1-0 early into MSU Denver. Matt Clark leading off from the game for the Mountain Lions. Not a whole lot of changes in the Mountain Lion lineup, just a switch out on the catcher as normal. Ryan Schmidt entering the lineup for UCCS as Clark steps back in the batter's box for UCCS. Facing from MSU Denver, Zach Sunday is called for ball number 1. Sunday 1-1 record, 2.81 ERA, making his third start of the year, 9th overall appearance. 1-0 pitch now on the way from Sunday. Called strike, 1-1 count now for Clark at the plate. Sunday only 16 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, only giving up 6 walks in that time. 1-1 pitch now on the way from Sunday, a little outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Matt Clark at the plate. Clark 2 for 3 in game number 1 earlier today, along with 1 run. 2-1 pitch now on the way. Little inside. Count is now 3-1 for Matt Clark at the plate. MSU Denver, decent crowd on hand from them today as you get a first-rate shot of Pulpit Rock. Have a few sunbathers over in right field. 3-1 pitch now on the way. Fouled off into the netting. Count is now full, 3-2. Got a few sunbathers in right field. Got a few people on top of the hill watching and getting some free baseball in the process. But a beautiful day in Colorado Springs here in mid-April. Getting close to late April, hard to believe. Almost ready for finals for students here on campus. 3-2 count now for Matt Clark at the plate. Here comes the pitch now from Sunday. A little bit low, and leadoff walk for Matt Clark as he will take first base.
Now batting number 1.
As Matt Berg, the left fielder, coming up to the plate. Berg, 2 for 4 in game number 1, with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. 327 hitter, sophomore for the Mountain Lions. As he will step into the plate, or up into the box with Clark over at first base with a leadoff walk. Here comes the pitch from Sunday, a little bit high for ball number 1. See Clark over your screen over at first base. Matt Berg at the plate. Here at Colorado Springs, Colorado, northwest edge of campus. Berg right there, getting ready for his pitch. 1-0 pitch now on the way. Just a little bit high and out for ball number 2. 2-0 count now for Matt Berg as Mountain Lions trying to dig out of this 1-0 deficit they find themselves early in against MSU Denver. 2-0 pitch now on the way. And count is now 3-0 for Matt Berg at the plate. So far, 8 pitches from Sunday so far. If my count's right, it looks like 7 of them have been balls. Already with 1 runner on first base for UCCS. That's Matt Clark after he drew the walk. Plate umpire with his helmet off. Everyone trying to get reset here, and as we get underway here, moved much a very fast pace in game number 1. Here comes a 3-0 pitch now from Sunday, called strike by home plate umpire. Count is now 3-1. Game number 2 wasn't supposed to start for another 23 minutes, and so both teams working very effectively. Mountain Lions not putting a lot of their runs in until the late. Sunday goes back over to Clark at first base, and Clark returns safely without a problem. Three-one pitch now on the way, a little bit high, and so first 2 batters draw walks for UCCS. That puts runners on first and second. Clark on second, Berg on first. Jake Anderson, the third baseman, on at the plate for UCCS. Anderson 367 for the Mountain Lions. Game number 1, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. As he comes up to the plate. Anderson coming out to plate with runners on first, second. Here comes the pitch, a little bit inside for ball number 1. 1-0 count, 1 out. No outs here, bottom of the first inning. Runners on first and second as Anderson let that one go by for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for him at the plate. Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, on deck for the Mountain Lions. Anderson right there stepping back into the box. Junior for the Mountain Lions. 1-1 pitch now on the way. Swung at and fouled off. Count is now 1-2 for Anderson. One, 2 count, no out. Runners on first and second for UCCS. Zach Sundin with the pitch and calls strikeout at the plate. So 1 out here in the bottom of the first as Anderson goes back to the dugout. For the Mountain Lions, Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, coming up to the plate. Schmidt, we didn't see in game number 1. Freshman for the Mountain Lions, hitting .360 this season, making his 15th start of the year. 4 home runs, 6 doubles for him among his 18 hits. So 10 of his 18 hits have been at least for extra bases. .720 slugging percentage for the freshman. He will be stepping into the box with runners on first and second. Clark over on second as runners will retreat back and everyone will reset a little bit. One out here, bottom of the first inning. Mountain Lions trying to dig out of this 1-0 deficit to find themselves. Well hit ball for Schmidt over on the left side. It's going to be right against the wall. That's going to be over the fence into a 3-run home run for the Mountain Lions. Ryan Schmidt, we talk about his slugging percentage, his 5th home run of the season. As Mountain Lions able to take a 3-0 lead, that'll score Clark home from second and Berg all the way from first. As you see Ryan Schmidt right there getting congratulated by his teammates. The Mountain Lions able to quickly take the lead 3-1 here in the bottom of the first inning with only 1 out. Against MSU Denver, Clark and Berg both reached on walks, and it was Ryan Schmidt who brought them all home with that 3-run home run over the left field wall. Brings up Evan Richards now, the designated hitter. Richards, the junior, hitting .323 this season. Talking about home runs, he's got 13 on the year. As Zach Sundin struggling a little bit, able to make up for that with that strikeout, but as that is just outside for ball number 1 to Evan Richards. 1 out here, bottom of the first inning. See Zach Sundin right there, the junior for MSU Denver. Pitch is on the way. Called strike behind the home plate. 1-1 count now for Richards. Correction, 2-1 count. I apologize. 2-1 count now for Richards at the plate. 1 out as called strike right there. 2-2 count now for Richards as count is now even. Cody Norton on deck for the Mountain Lions. One out, 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Sundin. And another called strikeout. So looks like Sundin has been able to get a little bit more comfortable here after walking the first 2 Mountain Lion batters. He's been able to strike out 2 of the last 3. Looking. He's already increased his season total to 12, only with 16 innings pitched, 16 2/3 innings now with that strikeout. As Cody Norton, the right fielder, up to the plate for the Mountain Lions. First pitch he sees will swing at for strike number 1. Norton, the senior, hitting .314, 6 home runs, 13 doubles among his 44 hits for the Mountain Lions. John Mallon on deck for the Mountain Lions should this inning continue. 0-1 pitch now on the way from Sundin, a little outside for ball number 1. Two outs here, bottom of the first inning. Mountain Lions with a 3-1 lead. Well hit ball, that's going to be on the right side. That might be fair. It's going to be right on the line. Just fair. Mountain Lions are going to send Norton at least over to second. As some Mountain Lions, 2 hits so far in this inning. Well hit ball, just fair for the Mountain Lions as John Mallon comes up to the plate now. Mallon, .259 hitter this season. Was 1 for 3 in game number 1 today. As Mountain Lions once again at the runner in scoring position. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch from Sundin. That ball's hit into the net, foul. Count is now 0-1 for John Mallon. Walker Rumsey on deck for the Mountain Lions should this inning continue. And Ryan Schmidt, the 3-run home run, has been the difference so far here in the first inning. Norton right there on second base. Here comes a pitch from Sundin, a little bit high. Norton's going to advance to third. As Mallon's count evens up at 1-1. So now Norton over at third base. Mallon a single will make this a 4-1 lead for UCCS in the opening frame of game number 2. These two teams will meet again tomorrow. Close out the series at noon right here at Mountain Lion Park. 1-1 pitch on the way, fouled off into the net once again. 1-2 count now for John Mallon. 2 outs bottom of the first inning. UCCS leading 3-1 with the fourth run over at third base. One-two pitch down away from Sundin, just a little bit out for ball number 2. 2-2 count now, 2 outs bottom of the first inning of the 7-inning contest. Two pitches on the way, checks the swing, and they'll appeal the first, and we'll agree that he swung. So Mountain Lions take a 3-1 lead on a 3-run home run by Ryan Schmidt. When we go to the top of the second inning, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters in Udame, Walsh, and Peters for MSU Denver. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Much more scoring in the first inning of this game than there was in the first inning of last game. Already 4 runs between the two teams. UCCS with the advantage, though. 3-1 through the first inning. Top of the second inning, Draven Udame swing and a miss to lead off the top of the second inning for MSU Denver. UCCS scoring 3 runs on that home run from Ryan Schmidt. His 5th of the season. 0-1 pitch now from Manmano. Goes by for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Udame at the plate. Udame, Walsh, and Peters, the leadoff batters for MSU Denver in this second inning. Udame, the senior, hitting .365. The next pitch goes by. Ball number 2. 2-1 count now for him at the plate. Udame, 6 home runs, 3 triples, 5 doubles for him this season. 1 for 2 in game number 1. 2-1 pitch now from Mamano. Goes by and big call strike. 2-2 count now for Udame at the plate. See the wind picking up with the flag out in left field. And strikeout looking. So, first strikeout of the day for Christian Mamano. Brings his season total up to 21. First out of the second inning here. As Zach Walsh, the third baseman, comes up to the plate for MSU Denver. Walsh, .284 hitter this season. 0 for 3 in game number 1. That pitch goes inside for ball number 1 to him. 1-0 pitch now from Mamano here in the top of the second. That ball chopped over to Anderson. He fields it cleanly. Has time to get over to Mallon at first, and he does. So 5-3 play Over at first base, 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second as the right fielder Cade Peters jumps up to the plate. Cade Peters we didn't see in game number 1. Peters a .259 batter, 4 home runs, 2 triples, and 11 doubles among his 30 hits for MSU Denver. 2 outs here, top of the second inning. Reynolds on deck should this inning continue. First pitch to Mamano, called strike by the home plate umpire. 0-1 count now to Peters. Pitch is a little bit outside. Peters able to check his swing in time. 1-1 count now for him at the plate. 3-1 lead for the Mountain Lions here, top of the second inning here at Mountain Lion Park. 1-1 pitch on the way. That's going to go out into center field. Rumsey, a few steps to his right, and he's able to make the play. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mountain Lions. Here in the top of the second inning, they'll take a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the second with the 8-9-1 batters. And Rumsey, McDermott, Clark due up. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. Mountain Lions with a 3-1 lead going into the bottom of the second inning. Walker Rumsey coming up to the plate for UCCS. Walker Rumsey, .257 hitter this season. 0 for 1 in game number 1 with a run in that 8-0 win for the Mountain Lions. Here comes a pitch from Sundin. Contact made, but it's fouled off behind the press box on the right side. Count is now 0-1 for Walker Rumsey. Matt McDermott, the shortstop, on deck for the Mountain Lions, and back to the top of the order. And Matt Clark here to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Mountain Lions with the 3-1 lead. Pitch from Sundin. That's hit over to shortstop Paschke. He gets it cleanly. It's going to be a quick play over to first, and they call it out. So a 6-3 play. Close call there by the first base umpire, but 1 up, 1 down for the Mountain Lions here in the bottom of the second inning. Matt McDermott, the shortstop, now up to the plate. McDermott 1 for 2 in game number 1 with a run, a .373 hitter. After that performance for the Mountain Lions, he gets his first pitch now from Sundin. He'll take that for strike number 1. 0-1 count now from McDermott at the plate. Clark had a run in the first inning. He's on deck for UCCS. 2 hits for the Mountain Lions so far today. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss from McDermott. He falls behind 0-2 to Zach Sundin. Sundin gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but also recorded 3 outs in the process. 3 strikeouts in the process. Make that 11, 12, and 13 for him on the season. Another pitch that's hit over to Paschke. He gets it over to first base for the 6-3 play. Not quite as close a call there, but definitely McDermott made it close, but 6-3 play for 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Now back up to the top of the order, Matt Clark. Led off the game with a walk and later scored on the home run from Ryan Schmidt. As in Matt Berg, who's on deck. Should this inning continue, but so far back-to-back plays over to the shortstop, Paschke. He's able to get him over to Malkin at first for MSU Denver. First pitch, a little bit outside for ball number 1. .1-0 pitch now on the way from Sundin. That ball chopped over to the left side, but it'll be just foul in front of the third base umpire. 0-1-1 count now for Matt Clark at the plate. Mountain Lions able to Now within a game of MSU Denver in the conference standings. Any ties, if Mount Lions are able to get that tie, would likely go to Mount Lions since they'd have to win this series in some way. That's next pitch. The 1-1 count is outside for a 2-1 count. 2 outs here, bottom of the second inning. Both teams scoring in the first, but so far nothing here in the second. That ball is high. That pitch is high for ball number 3. 3-1 count now for Matt Clark, the second baseman for UCCS. Right there for the Mountain Lions. 3-1 pitch now on the way from Sundin. That ball's chopped over Papachki once again. He fields it cleanly, has a little bit of time to go with the first, and so back-to-back 6-3 plays. Both teams go down in order in the second inning. So we go to the top of the third inning. 8-9-1 batters due up for MSU Denver, and Reynolds, Hollinger, and Paschke. We come back, Mount Lions with a 3-1 lead. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Top of the third inning, Mount Lions with a 3-1 lead against MSU Denver here in game number 2. Got quite a crowd going out over on right field. Although I think the picture we saw, the person on the rock was wearing the wrong shirt. Somehow a Colorado School of Mines shirt is making its way to UCCS. First pitch to Reynolds from Mamano, a little bit in the turf for ball number 1. Mamano a strikeout in the second inning, part of a 1-2-3 inning for the Mount Lions on defense. 1-0 pitch down the way. Reynolds shows bunt, pulls back, but still called strike, so 1-1 count now for him at the plate. Busy weekend of action for the Mount Lions, track and field over in Southern California at the Azusa Pacific Brian Clay Invitational. Softball over in Grand Junction, they start a doubleheader here in a couple minutes. Rollins makes contact, diving play by Clark. He can't quite make it, and so a leadoff single for Reynolds. As Clark tries to make it, able to get a piece of the glove on it, but can't quite get anything more than that. As Reynolds will reach first base on the single. Jimmy Hollinger, the second baseman, up on the plate for MSU Denver. We didn't see him in game number 1, only making his third start of the year. .429 hitter, only 6 of 14 at the plate. But 1 triple and a double for him on the season. Now outs here, top of the third inning for MSU Denver. Here comes a pitch from Amano. Called strike by home plate umpire. Count is now 0-1 for Hollinger with Reynolds at first. Try to keep you updated on that softball score. Mount Lions are going to have a tough game against 12th ranked Colorado Mesa and Grand Junction, and 3-5 doubleheader over on the western slope. On 1 pitch down the way from Amano. Hollinger shows bunt. It fouls off on the right field, on the first base side. Count is now 0-2 for him. Reynolds over on first base. 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts this season. So see him back there with Mamano waiting for the signal. Owens looks like looking for the sacrifice bunt to get over in the second base. Here comes the pitch. Mount Lions are going to go over to second. Throw isn't made though. Ball number 1 to Hollinger in the process as Reynolds back over to first base for the Roadrunners. Other games across the conference when it comes to baseball action. New Mexico Highlands at Grand Junction, Regis at Dixie State, Colorado Christian at Colorado School of Mines, and CSU Pueblo at Adams State. Right now, the only score that we're seeing final so far is our game. We report on the conference website. 1-2 pitch down the way from Mono. That ball's hit over to Clark. Clark will dish it off to McDermott for the 4-6 play, and they'll complete the double play. 4-6-3 double play. Clears the bases. And takes us back to the top of the order with Zach Paschke. Paschke ground ball over to shortstop to lead off the game in the first inning. But 2 outs here, top of the 3rd inning. As now Mamano with the pitch to Paschke. That ball's hit in the center field and might drop down. It will for a base hit. Right in front of Rumsey. He wasn't going to be able to make that play coming in. So 2 hits for MSU Denver in this inning. Chase Anderson now to plate. He scored the lone run for MSU Denver on the sacrifice fly from Logan Sewell. That was a play that it was looked like it was a close play at the plate. Umpire said it was safe. But 2 outs here, top of the 3rd inning. Paschke over at first for MSU Denver and Chase Anderson at the plate for the Roadrunners. Pitch now from Amano as Mount Lions will go from to first base to try to get Paschke. He's able to slide back safely. Ball for Anderson. 1-0 count for him at the plate. Beautiful day in Colorado Springs. Weather looks like it's going to hold throughout the weekend. Chase Anderson right there for the Roadrunners playing left field today. Triple in the first. Right now a 1-0 count to Mamano. Here comes the pitch from him. And home plate umpire will call that for strike number 1. So 1-1 count now for Anderson at the plate. Logan Sewell, the designated hitter, on deck. Should this inning continue, 1-1 count at the plate, 2 outs, top of the 3rd. Mount Lions lead by 2 runs with the 3-1 score. Mamano back over to Mallon at first. Paschke able to slide back safely in time. Still 1-1 count at the plate for Anderson with 2 outs. One pitch now from Mamano, called strike. Now Anderson behind on the count 1-2. Mamano already with 1 strikeout so far today, looking to add to it right here with a 1-2 count to Anderson. Paschke over at first base, 11 for 13 on stolen base attempts. 1-2 pitch now on the way. Checks the swing, and they will say it's a 2-3. They will have to tag it out in the same process. So right now, Mount Lions 3-1 lead after giving them 2 hits in the 3rd inning, but MSU Denver can't do anything with it. Helped with a 4-6-3 double play to Ellen Hollinger's at bat. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Berg, Anderson, and Schmidt due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Matt Berg coming up to the plate for UCCS here to the off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mount Lions leading 3-1 here in Mount Lion Park. Game 2 of today's double-doubleheader. Game 3 of the overall series. 7-inning game scheduled here today. Here comes the pitch from Zach Sundin. A little bit higher for ball number 1. Sundin, 3 strikeouts for him so far today, giving up 3 runs at the same time. And 2 complete innings for him. Matt Berg right there had walked in the first inning. That ball's made contact. Walsh will field it at third base. Gets it over to Malkin at first for the 5-3 play. And 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Jake Anderson, the third baseman, up to the plate. Struck out looking in the first inning. Anderson, 367, coming into game 2 of today's game. And stepping into the plate, Anderson right there for the Mount Lions. See pitch from Sundin, a little bit outside for ball number 1. Mount Lions 4-game home winning streak, 6 games won when they 6 straight games won when they play right here at Mount Lion Park. 1-0 pitch is on the way. Strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Anderson. 6-game win streak when they're playing at Mount Lion Park. 7 when they're playing over on Colorado Springs. That includes yesterday's game over at Security Service Field. That ball a pitch a little bit outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Anderson at the plate. Schmidt on deck had a 3-run home run for the Mount Lions in inning number 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Mount Lions with a 2-run lead. That ball's fouled off behind the net. 2-2 count now for Anderson at the plate. Sundin, after giving up back-to-back walks to start the game, looks like he's settled in a little bit. Anderson right there at the plate for the Mount Lions. Looking to get on base for the first time in this inning. 2-2 pitch is a little bit high and out for ball number 3. So full count now for Jake Anderson at the plate. Anderson 4 for 2 in game number 1. I'm sorry, 2 for 4. 3-2 pitch now on the way. That contact with May, but fouled off again. The count remains full, 3-2. But yes, Anderson 2 runs off 4 at bats, 2 runs, 3 ribbies. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Mount Lions with the 3-1 lead against the Roadrunners. 3-2 pitch is on the way. A little bit outside, and Anderson will reach base on a walk, and so he'll be on first base as Ryan Schmidt comes up to the plate. Schmidt, home run in the first inning, scored Clark and Berg, and that's where the 3 runs from Mount Lions have come from, is from that shot by Ryan Schmidt over the left field wall. Light breeze right here in Mount Lion Park. As Schmidt back onto the plate, Anderson up first for UCCS. Here comes a pitch from Sundin. And Schmidt will let that one go by for ball number 1. 1-0 count, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Here in Colorado Springs, you see Anderson over at first base for the Mount Lions. Pitch now from Sundin. Up contact is made, but it's fouled into the net in front of the press box. 1-1 count now for Schmidt. Richards on deck for the Mount Lions. Sundin, good angle at first base. 1-1 pitch now to the plate. Call strike number 2. So 1-2 count now for Schmidt at the plate. With Anderson over at first on the walk. 1 out here in the bottom of the third for the Mount Lions. Wait, 1-2 pitch on the way. Checks a swing, but home plate umpire says he still swung. So strikeout for Ryan Schmidt. And strikeout number 4 for Zach Sundin. Richards strikeout looking in the first inning. Looking to change that a little bit here in the third, especially with Jake Anderson over at first. For the Mount Lions, 2 outs though in the bottom of the third. Pitch now from Sundin. Swung at, that's going to be fouled off. Looks like behind the MSU Denver dugout for strike number 1. Two outs here, bottom of the third inning. 0-1 count now for F. Richards at the plate with Anderson over at first. Here comes a pitch, a little bit low in the turf for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for him. As you can see, not a cloud in the sky here in Colorado Springs. Lots of people enjoying some baseball here in northern Colorado Springs. 1-1 pitch is on the way, a little bit outside, but it'll be a called strike by the home plate umpire. 1-2 count now for Richards at the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Mount Lions leading 3-1. Pitch now from Sundin, swung and a miss. And so Sundin, 5 strikeouts for him so far today. Back-to-back strikeouts here to end the third inning. Mount Lions will still lead 3-1 going into the top of the fourth as the 3-4-5 batters and Sewell, Malkin, and Udame lead off for MSU Denver. When we come back, we're watching UCCS baseball as we take a break. A few highlights so far from today's action here at Mount Lion Park. Top of the fourth inning here at Mount Lion Park. UCCS with the 3-1 lead against MSU Denver. Both teams doing their scoring in the first inning, but it's been scoreless for both teams in the second and third. As Logan Sewell, the designated hitter, comes up to the plate now for MSU Denver. Had a sac fly in the first inning. And here comes the pitch now from Amano. Sewell checks the swing and does so in time. Ball number 1 to Sewell. Sewell, Malkin, Udame leading off for MSU Denver here in the top of the fourth inning. MSU Denver looking to come up from this deficit. That ball is hit over to Clark at second base. He's able to get on the run, get over to the first base. Is it going to be in time? It is. And so a 4-3 play to open up the top of the fourth inning. 1 up, 1 down here for MSU Denver here in the fourth. Matt Malkin up to the plate. Just ground out to shortstop in the first inning in his first at-bat. Mount Lions so far only giving up 1 run to MSU Denver in the 2 innings today. As you see, Christian Amano right there. 2 strikeouts for him today. Here comes the pitch now for him outside for ball number 1. Amano 3-0 on his decisions this year, 6.44 ERA. Making his 4th start of the year and 11th overall appearance. 1-0 pitch from him, called strike. 1-1 count now for Matt Malkin at the plate. Malkin shifting over to first base for MSU Denver. 1-1 pitch now from Amano, a little bit high, and then to the inside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Malkin at the plate. 1 out here, top of the fourth inning. 2-1 count for Malkin as he now gets the pitch now from Amano. That ball's hit high into center field. Rumsey's going back to the wall. He's going to have to fight the sun to make the play. It's going to go off the batter's eye. And it gets away from him a little bit. They're going to send him all the way to third. And Rumsey's still having a hard time. They're going to keep him at third, but they thought about getting him to home. He has to slide back into third a little bit, so a little bit of miscues there out in center field. Matt Malkin getting all the way to third base in the process with the 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Draven Udame struck out looking in the second inning. One out here in the top of the fourth inning. Well, hit ball, but it's going to be fouled off behind the grandstand for strike number 1. Pair of triples for MSU Denver so far today with Chase Anderson and now Matt Malkin. That ball's hit in the center field again. It's going to have to be Rumsey. We'll see if they bring Malkin home. Mount Lions able to get it, but they stumble in the process. So that will allow Malkin to come home. So a sacrifice fly by Udame. for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th inning, but it's a 3-2 lead now for UCCS. As so far MSU Denver has taken advantage of a pair of one-out triples and convert them into runs here in game number 2. Zach Walsh now up to the plate, ground out to third base in his first appearance in the 2nd inning. Here comes a pitch now from Amano, strike number 1 called by the home plate umpire. 0-1 count now to Walsh. Cade Peters on deck should this inning continue for the Roadrunners. 4 hits for MSU Denver have converted into 2 runs so far today. 0-1 pitch now from Amano. That's swung at, but that's fouled off from the right side down into the parking lot. Strike number 2 to Zach Walsh. 0-2 count now for him at the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. 3-2 lead now for UCCS. 0-2 pitch now on the way from Amano. And strikeout looking. 3rd strikeout of the day for Christian Amano. 2nd one looking as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mountain Lions give up 1 run but still maintain the lead. 3-2 against MSU Denver. You're watching UCCS baseball.
On base in the 4th inning.
Norton, Mallon, and Rumsey due up for Mount Lions here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mount Lions with the 1-run advantage, 3-2 here against MSU Denver, as Roadrunners able to tack on 1 more run in the top of the 4th inning of this 7-inning contest here at Mount Lion Field. Some action to talk about over in Grand Junction. Softball 0-0 in the top of the 2nd inning against Colorado Mesa. First pitch to Norton sees he fouls off behind the right side of the press box. 0-1 count now for him at the plate. Norton double in the 1st inning, was able to go all the way over to 3rd, but wasn't able to score in that outing. And that pitch a little bit low for ball number 1 to Cody Norton. 1-1 count now for him at the plate. Here at the bottom of the 4th inning. One pitch now on the way, swung at and missed. We fouled off into the catcher's mitt. 1-2 count now for Norton at the plate, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 4th. 6, 7, 8 batters leading off for the Mount Lions here in the 4th inning. 1-2 pitch now on the way from Sundin, swung at and missed. Dropped pitch, so the catcher will have to make it over. That'll be Udame over to Malkin to complete the play. So no strikeout in the process for Sundin. Now gives him 6 on the day as John Mallon comes up to the plate for UCCS. Mallon struck out swinging in the 1st inning for the Mount Lions to close out the opening frame for the Mount Lions. 1 out here, bottom of the 4th for the Mount Lions. With the 3-2 lead against MSU Denver. MSU Denver trying to get their first win of the series. As Mallon shows bunt, he's able to make contact. Sundin has to make the play. 1-3 play, and it looks like Mallon's going to make it safely to 1st. So a single for John Mallon. He's able to make it over to 1st base, to 1-out single on the bunt. Couple nice bounces for Mallon in the process as Sundin was forced to come in and make that play for the Roadrunners. And now Walker Rumsey up to the plate with a runner on 1st and John Mallon with 1 out in the 4th inning. As looks like umpires are going to have a conference. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, Mallon over at 1st base on that bunt single. Walker Rumsey waiting to Step into the batter's box, ground out to shortstop to lead off the second inning. Rumsey 0 for 1 in the first game with a run. It looks like they're going to bring Mallon back in the process. So, I believe that should make it an 0-1 count now for John Mallon at the plate. Take that single away in the process with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch now on the way from Sundin. And strike number 2 to John Mallon at the plate. 0-2 count now for him at the plate. Rumsey back in the on-deck circle for the Mount Lions. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Mount Lions lead by 1, 3-2. Pitch down the way from Sundin. He's going to make up for the and a well caught ball there by Hollinger at second base. So L4 now for John Mallon. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth as Walker Rumsey comes up to plate. As we said before, ground out to shortstop to lead off the second inning, but 2 outs here. Mount Lions lead by 1, 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch now from Sundin. Looks like a little bit low and in for ball number 1. Matt McDermott on deck for the Mount Lions. Should this inning continue? 1-0 pitch down the way from Sundin. Contact's made but fouled off on the right side for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Rumsey, the sophomore for the Mount Lions. 2 outs bottom of the fourth inning. Rumsey right there at the plate for UCCS. 1-1 pitch now on the way. Swing at that's going to go foul though. Hadjic almost makes a play with his bare hands. Bounces out into the field a little bit. 1-2 count now for Rumsey at the plate. 2 outs bottom of the fourth inning for the Mount Lions. Rumsey right there. Pitch now from Sundin way outside for ball number 2. 2-2 count now for Rumsey. Two outs here, bottom of the fourth. Here comes a pitch from Sundin. That ball's chopped over to the left side. It'll be Walsh to field it. Looking for the 5-3 play. It had to be a little bit stretched armed by Malcolm, but he's able to make it cleanly. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mount Lions here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They will take a 3-2 lead into the top of the fifth inning. The bottom of the order due up for MSU Denver and Peters, Reynolds, and Hollinger. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. Top of the fifth inning, UCCS leading by 3-2 against MSU Denver. But Roadrunners will bring up Peters, Reynolds, Hollinger to lead off here in the top of the fifth. Roadrunners, 2 runs. Trying to make it at least 3 or 4 here and at least get 1 game in a series going into the finale tomorrow. Here comes a pitch now from Amano. Swing that's going to be fair into right field. It's going to be at least a double. I think they're going to send him over to second. At least Peters going over to second. Well, is fielded by Norton cleanly. Stand-up double for Cade Petersley off the top of the fifth inning for MSU Denver. First pitch he's seen, well hit ball into right field. Norton doing a good job to get in there, getting the ball out of the corner and to keep that from extending into a triple for MSU Denver. 5 hits so far for MSU Denver today. 3 of them have been for extra bases with 2 triples and a double now here in the top of the fifth. Pitch now from Amano as Reynolds shows bunt. That ball is going to be fouled off on the left side for strike number 1. Peters over on second for MSU Denver. Reynolds 0-1 count at the plate after showing bunt, and that bunt goes down over into the left side of the foul territory. One count now for Reynolds. He had a single into third, but then was out on a double play in that inning. Shows bunt again, pulls back. Mountain Lions are going to try to go back to second base. That ball goes in the outfield, but looks like Peters will stay. So ball number 1 for Owens at the plate. 1-1 count for him. Peters will stay at second as Schmidt tries to get that ball back over to get Peters at second base. He's able to slide back in safely. 3-2 count. 3-2 lead for UCCS. 1-1 count for Reynolds as he steps back into the box against Christian Mamano. Metro State with a 5-2 advantage and leads, but right now the lead is 3-2 for UCCS on the scoreboard as that ball's fouled off into the net, be in front of the press box. 1-2 count now for Reynolds at the plate. Peters over at second on that double to right field. Hollinger on deck. He grounded to the double play in the third inning. One-two pitch now from Mono. Contact's made, but fouled off again on the right side by the restrooms. 1-2 count remains for Reynolds at the plate. Reynolds back in, waiting the 1-2 pitch now from Amano. And he delivers a little bit inside. Count evens up at 2-2. These two teams will meet again tomorrow, 12 o'clock, as Mamano goes back to the mound for UCCS. 3 strikeouts for him so far today. Giving up 2 runs and 5 hits. Mamano looks back over at Peters on second. Delivers now the 2-2 pitch to Reynolds. A little bit outside. Count is now full. 3-2 for Reynolds at the plate. UCCS, the penultimate home series of the year. They will be home next weekend against Colorado School of Mines in the final home series of the year. And then at CSU Pub to close out the regular season. 3-2 count, a little bit low and in. And Reynolds will take his base on a walk. And so runners on first and second for MSU Denver. No outs here in the top of the 5th inning. As Jimmy Hollinger comes up to the plate, ground into a double play to 4-6-3 play in the 3rd inning. As Hadjic will come out, have a word with Mamano, bring all the infielders in the process. Trying to get a look down on the Mountain Line bullpen. Doesn't look like there's any activity at the moment. And no one's heading to the bullpen at this point either. No outs here, top of the 5th inning. We have Peters over at second, Reynolds at first for MSU Denver. As looks like Hollinger now ready to step into the batter's box for MSU Denver. No outs here, top of the 5th inning. UCCS with a 3-2 lead against MSU Denver, trying to secure at least a win in the series. With a win today, MSU Denver trying to take their first game of the series from the Mount Lions so far today. UCCS 1 game behind MSU Denver in the standings. As Hollinger shows bunt, it'll have to be Mamano who's able to field the play, so it'd be looks like a 1-4 play sacrifice bunt for Hollinger. But in the process, he's able to move Peters over to third and Reynolds up to second with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Back to the top of the order now for Zach Paschke. He had a single in the third. 1 for 2 for him so far in this game. 1 for 5 on the day, 0 for 3 in game number 1. Mountain Lions leading 3-2, but trying to stave off MSU Denver with 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch now on the way from Amano, right down the middle for strike number 1. See the Rampart range there as the camera zooms in to Zach Paschke right there. Shortstop for the Roadrunners. Trying to get some RBIs here in the process as he has runners on second and third. Swing and a miss for him. He goes behind the count 0-2. Chase Anderson on deck as should the inning continue. Mountain Lions are going to try to at least see what they can do here to keep at least the game from being tied or to fall back into a deficit here, depending on what Paschke can do. 0-2 count. That ball's hit well in the right field. Norton's going to be able to make the play, but they're going to send Reynolds from third and move runners up one. They're going to try to get the runner over at third, and it's not going to be in time. And so we are tied up here, 3-3 as Peters comes in on the sacrifice fly from Zach Paschke. And Reynolds goes up to third in the process as runners tag. 2 outs here, top of the fifth, but we're tied up 3-3 between the UCCS and MSU Denver. Chase Anderson up to the plate, had a triple, then scored in the first inning, then struck out swinging in the third for MSU Denver. Reynolds over at third for the Roadrunners. Here with 2 outs, tied ball game. See Reynolds right there. Here comes a pitch now to Anderson for ball number 1. Logan Sewell on deck for the Roadrunners should we continue with 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. All tied up at 3-3. 1-0 pitch now from Amano. That ball swung. That's going to have to be Rumsey is going to make the play. He does so cleanly in center field. And so Mountain Lions and Roadrunners tied up at 3 apiece after a double turned into a score by Cade Peters for the Roadrunners. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2 batters do it for UCCS and McDermott, Clark, and Berg. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. UCCS, MSU Denver, all tied up at 3-3 when we are coming back here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Matt McDermott coming up to the plate for the Mountain Lions, a .429 hitter coming into this game. First pitch he sees, and he loses control of the bat. That goes all the way over to the MSU Denver dugout. Stays in front of the net, though, so no problems there, but 0-1 count now for McDermott. McDermott, .429. I'm sorry, 373 hitter, looking at the wrong spot on the lineup. 373 hitters, 50 hits on 134 at-bats for the junior for the Mountain Lions. 0-1 pitch now on the way for Sundin, a little bit outside for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for McDermott at the plate. Matt Clark, top of the order, on deck for the Mountain Lions. Matt Berg in the hole as the first 3 batters here in the bottom of the fifth. UCCS scoring all 3 runs in the first inning on the home run from Schmidt. That ball well hit, but is foul in front of the MSU Denver bullpen. Count is now 1-2 against McDermott. With Schmidt, 3-1 home run in the first inning. That's all the Mountain Lions have been able to score. It's been 1 run apiece in the first, 4th, and 5th innings for MSU Denver. They've tied the game up. As you see Zach Sundin right there. 6 strikeouts for him so far today. Giving up 3 runs. All of them in the first inning. Only 3 walks. 2 of them in the first inning. That ball well hit by McDermott. Paschke will make the play for the 6-3 play. It's a quick, close play, but it will be out. And so 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th for the Mountain Lions. Matt Clark up to the plate, scored in the first inning after he earned a leadoff walk. And then ground out to shortstop to end the second inning for the Mountain Lions. Clark at the plate. Top batter for the Mountain Lions in today's lineup, 424 hitter. Also, third best slugging percentage at 675. One out here, bottom of the fifth inning. Tied up at 3 apiece. Here comes the pitch from Sundin. Swung at a miss for strike number 1. Berg on deck for the Mountain Lions. Same as Clark. Drew a walk and later scored in the first inning. 0-1 pitch down the way, swung at. That's fouled off into the parking lot on the right side. 0-2 count now for Clark. MSU Denver took the lead in yesterday's game over Security Service Field. The 5-1 lead in the first 2 innings, but then it was all Mountain Lions the rest of the way. MSU Denver threatened in the first game today, but couldn't score any runs. That ball's a little bit outside for ball number 1. But they threatened a few times in game number 1. Mountain Lions able to preserve the shutout in the 7-inning contest, and then so far it's been MSU Denver and the UCCS staying within each other throughout this game. Currently tied at 3 apiece. 1-2 pitches on the way. That's going to go into center field. It's going to have to be Reynolds. He's not going to be able to make it. It's going to bounce in front of the batter's eye, and it looks like a stand-up double. They're going to try to soap. They're going to keep Matt Clark at second. And so a double, 1-out double for Matt Clark as that bounces off the padding underneath the batter's eye. And Matt Berg comes up to the plate now for UCCS. With the runner in scoring position, Berg drew to walk and scored in the first and ground out to third base in the third inning. As you see Matt Clark there getting situated at second base for UCCS. Mountain Lions trying to retake the lead here. Only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning at Mountain Lion Park. Zach Sundin, after getting roughed up a little bit, has been executing well for MSU Denver since then, as that pitch is a little bit outside for ball number 1. 1-0 count, 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning here at Mountain Lion Park. Sundin with the 1-0 pitch, swung out and fouled off on the right side for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Berg at the plate. Jake Anderson on deck for the Mountain Lions. Berg looking for his first hit of the day, or his first hit of the game. Get on base for the second time today after that walk in the first. One's across the top of the scoreboard. Number 1, Matt Berg at the plate. 1-1 count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. That ball's hit in the center field. Looks like it's going to drop down out. Be at least a base hit. They're going to send Clark. Oh, they're going to keep Clark at third. There's the runners at the corners. Clark over at third. Berg over at second with that single. Back-to-back hits for the Mountain Lions. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Jake Anderson up to the plate. Struck out on the first. Drew a walk in the third. But Mountain Lions threatening to hope to try to break this 3-3 logjam that we're in right now. As Clark's over at third, Berg's over at second. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Mountain Lions and Roadrunners tied at 3. And we're going to have a little bit of a meeting with MSU Denver. There is activity in the Roadrunner bullpen. Sundin, 79 pitches so far today in 4 1/3 inning. Infield is also coming in for MSU Denver. See if we see a signal. Back-to-back kids for the Mountain Lions. Have runners on the corners for them. Wind is moderate. It's not overly breezy, but there is at least something to keep the air moving. Going out into left field. Coming out of the south. Looks like they will keep Sundin in for now. 6 strikeouts for him in 4 1/3 inning. 79 pitches. 49 of them have been for strikes. As Jake Anderson back ready to come up into the plate. We're reset a little bit. Berg over at first, Clark over at second. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. We're tied up at 3-3. Sundin still in for MSU Denver. 1-1 record for him. Here comes a pitch from Sundin. That's going to be low. Mountainers are going to try to bring Clark home from third, and they're going to. He slides in, and Mountain Lions take the lead. As Clark comes in, Berg over to second base. As that ball just went right underneath the legs of Udame, the catcher. And so 4-3 lead for UCCS right now, and they are able to put Berg in a scoring position as well. Only 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning, as you see Berg right there for the Mountain Lions. And Anderson at the plate with a 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. That's fouled off. Coach Larinaga able to get on a little bit. That was a well-hit ball. It was lasers down the right side, but it was foul. 1-1 count now for Jake Anderson. Ryan Schmidt had the homer in the first inning. He's on deck for the Mountain Lions. As Matt Berg over at second base, Clark able to score on that wild pitch. One pitch now from Sundin, a little bit outside. Ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Jake Anderson at the plate. Anderson drew a walk in the third inning on a full count. Also in a 1-out situation. No one on for the Mountain Lions in that situation, though. That was in the third. 2-1 pitch now from Sundin. That's chopped off in front of the MSU Denver dugout. Count is now evened up at 2-2 for Anderson. 7 innings as well in this game, just like the first game. Teams will play 9-inning contests here tomorrow to close out the series. 2-2 count, 1 out, and here in the bottom of the 5th with Berg over on second. Sundin looks over at Berg, looks again, as Berg will trot back, and everyone will kind of take a moment to reset a little bit here in the bottom of the 5th. Two pitches on the way. That swung at and chopped off in front of the Roadrunner dugout once again. Count remains at 2-2 for Anderson at the plate. Two count, 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Mountain Lions with 1 run already here in the inning. Trying a little bit more. 2-2 pitches on the way, just a little bit outside. Count goes full now for Anderson. 3-2. Full count, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Mountain Lions with the 4-3 lead and a runner on second. Sundin delivers the pitch. Test chopped off, fouled off once again, so count stays at 3-2. As you see, Matt Berg over at second base had a single and then reached second on the wild pitch that ended up scoring Matt Clark. Overview of the field right there. 3-2 pitches on the way. That ball is set up in the middle. It'll bring Berg at least to third. They're going to send him all the way to home. They'll keep Anderson at first base as some Mountain Lions take the 5-3 lead as Berg comes all the way from second to home, and Mountain Lions now with 2 runs in this inning. Jake Anderson with the RBI single right up the middle. Well-placed hit for him as Ryan Schmidt comes up to the plate. 1 for 2 for him on the day with a 3-run home run in the first inning. Mountain Lions with the 5-3 lead. We're going to have another meeting at the mound for MSU Denver. There is activity, and he's going to motion to the bullpen. So looks like that'll be the day for Zach Sundin. Right now has given up 5 runs. He is accountable for Jake Anderson at first if Anderson comes up and scores. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to get to meet the new pitcher for MSU Denver and reset a little bit, let him get some warm-ups in. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Taylor Peterson, the new pitcher for MSU Denver, 4.74 ERA with 28 strikeouts. This is his 14th appearance of the season. He's 4-2 in decisions so far this season. Zach Sundin, 4 1/3 innings pitched with 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 runs so far, but he is accountable for Anderson over at first base. One out here in the bottom of the 5th as he makes his first pitch to Ryan Schmidt. Strike number 1 to Schmidt. 1-2 Dave. 1 of 2 for him so far today with a home run in the first and a strikeout in the 3rd. Peterson right there for MSU Denver. Bottom of the 5th inning, Mount Lions in position as the runner goes for it. Anderson goes. It'll be a ball for Schmidt at the plate as Anderson is able to slide in safely for the stolen base. 1-1 count though for Schmidt as now another runner in scoring position for the Mount Lions with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning at Mount Lion Park. Schmidt stepping back in for UCCS right there. Trying to get a few more RBIs for him today. 1-1 pitch now on the way. Swing and a miss. Now it's 1-2 count for Schmidt at the plate. Evan Richards, a designated hitter, on deck for UCCS. Schmidt, 28 RBIs for him on the season. That includes 3 in the first inning on that home run. 1-2 count now for Peterson. Swing and a miss. And so strikeout for Ryan Schmidt. First strikeout of the day for Peterson, and his first batter that he's faced brings up Evan Richards. 0 for 2 for him so far today with a pair of strikeouts. Looking to change that right here in the bottom of the 5th with Jake Anderson at second base and 2 outs here in game number 2 at Mount Lion Park. Richards stepping into the box for the Mount Lions. Pitch down the way from Peterson, and that's nails him right on the back. So now runners on first and second. Richards over at first, Anderson over at second. Norton at the plate had a double in the first, struck out swinging to open the 4th. As Norton steps in right there. And you see right there a wide angle of the field. Runners on first and second for the Mount Lions. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Mount Lions 2 runs so far in this inning to break a 3-3 lead. 3-3 game. Swing and a miss for Norton. 0-1 count now for him. Mount Lions runs so far today have come in bunches. As we see Anderson right there at second base for the Mount Lions. Single and stolen base. 0-1 pitch now from Peterson. Swing and a miss to Norton. 0-2 count now for him. 1 strikeout already for Peterson. He's got 29 on the season. Solid ERA at 4.74 for the Roadrunners. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. 0-2 count between Norton and Peterson. 0-2 pitch now on the way. Swing and a miss. And so 2 strikeouts for Peterson as he comes in relief. Final line for Sundin, only 5 runs given up and 6 strikeouts, 4 1/3 inning. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, it'll be the 3, 4, 5 batters, 2 up for the Runners, Sewell, Malkin, and Udame. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. Top of the 6th inning, UCCS with a 5-3 lead against MSU Denver as we welcome Logan Sewell back to the plate. Sewell looks like 0 for 1. If I'm doing my math real quick across the score sheet. First pitch that he sees from Mamano, swing and a miss for strike number 1. Sewell, Malkin, Udame for MSU Denver. Here is Sewell will take that one for strike number 2. He falls behind in the count 0-2. Mamano 3 strikeouts for him, only giving up 3 runs. Only strike 1 batter in 5 innings of work. Trying to make it 5 1/3 right here. 0-2 pitch down the way. That ball swinging in the right field. It's going to be Norton who's going to have to get against the wall, and that's a home run. Solo home run for Logan Sewell. Cuts this Mount Lion lead down by 1 run to 5-4 as Sewell comes around 3rd right there. He's getting ready to score. Sewell home run number 10 for him this season. It's now a 5-4 lead for UCCS after the leadoff solo home run by Logan Sewell, his first hit of the game. Matt Malkin had a triple in the 4th inning and later scored in that inning. That's what ended up at least making that was the second run for MSU Denver to cut the game down to 1 run is there as well. As we see Coach Hadjic out on the mound for a chat with Chris Mamano. There is activity in the Mount Lion bullpen. Can't quite see through all the netting and fencing who it is quite yet. Do you know it's a left-handed pitcher? As now infielders are coming in for the Mount Lions as well. Home plate umpire is starting to make his way out there as well. After a solo home run by Logan Sewell for MSU Denver, cut this Mount Lion lead down to 1 at 5-4, and we are going to see looks like a pitching change. So, Kishma Amano, his final score: 5 innings, 4 runs, all of them earned. So, gave up 6 hits, struck out 3 batters, and walked one batter. We're going to take a little bit of a break, get to meet the new pitcher, and get him some warm-up pitches when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Dagan Rank coming out in relief for UCCS. Rank a 6.60 ERA, 2-0 in decisions, 13 strikeouts, making his 15th appearance of the season. First pitch that he'll make to Matt Malkin is a called strike to him. 0-1 count now here in the top of the 6th inning. Mount Lions with a 5-4 lead. Ranked a sophomore out of Longmont, Colorado, graduate of Longmont High School. 0-1 pitches in the turf before it reaches the batter's box. 1-1 count now to Matt Malkin at the plate. Malkin, the triple in the 4th inning, later scored, ground out to shortstop to close out the 1st inning for MSU Denver. 1-1 pitch down the way, swung at a miss. 1-2 count now for Matt Malkin. An update as UCCS softball taking on number 12 Colorado Mesa. Top of the 5th inning, Mesa with a 1-0 lead against UCCS in Grand Junction in a doubleheader that got underway just about an hour ago. 1-2 pitch now on the way from Rank, a little bit low. County was up at 2-2 from Matt Malkin. Draven Udame at the plate on deck for MSU Denver. Two count, no outs. Top of the 6th, here comes a pitch from Reagan. Dex bounces the turf. Count goes full now, 3-2. Full count for Matt Malkin as he steps back into the plate. Dagan Rank right there, delivers the pitch. Swung out, and that's fouled off behind the press box. Count remains full at 3-2. Mount Lions have done their scoring in bunches. 3 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th. MSU Denver so far just a single run in the innings that they've scored. That full count pitch fouled off again by Malkin on the right side. Count is still at 3-2. MSU Denver has scored their runs with a single run in the 4th, in the 1st, 4th, 5th, and now 6th innings. Mount Lions trying to keep that intact. 3-2 pitch down the way. That ball is put into play on the right side. Looks like it'll be Mount who's going to try to make it. He's right on the right field line and is able to make it in fair territory. So pop fly into John Mallon's glove. First out here in the top of the 6th. Draven Udame struck out in the 2nd inning and had a sacrifice fly in the 4th. That scored Malkin in the 4th. So 0-1 performance for him so far today. Udame 1 for 2 in game number 1 earlier today. At UCCS won 8-0. Pitch on the way now from Rank. Swung and a miss. 0-1 count now for Udame at the plate. Zach Walsh on deck for the Roadrunners. One pitch down the way, a little bit low for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Udame against Dagan Rank. A little bit of time for everyone. We'll reset a little bit. No one on base for MSU Denver after the leadoff home run by Logan Sewell in the start of this inning. 7 innings is all we're scheduled to go to. 1-1 pitch now from Rank. Swung out. That's going to go over to left field. It'll be Berger to bounce in front of. Scored a single as Udame reaches base. Second hit of the inning for MSU Denver. They had the overall advantage and hit 7-5, but it's still a 5-4 lead for UCCS, who were able to capitalize on some early walks from Sunday in the bottom of the 1st. As Zach Walsh comes up to the plate, over 2 for him so far today. He will be working with Udame over at first base. Udame 7 for 8 on stolen base attempts as Coach Hadjic will return to the pitcher's mound again. Looks like a right-handed pitcher and getting warmed up for the Mount Lions over in the bullpen. 1 out, top of the 6th inning. UCCS 5-4, and we are going to see a pitching change. And so Mount Lions will see another pitching change here in this inning, as we're going to take a little bit of a break, get to meet the new pitcher, and get a few warm-up throws for him in as we continue here. Mount Lions with the 5-4 lead, but the tying run over at first to go ahead and run at the plate. You're watching UCCS baseball. Cam Alterhide back on the mound for UCCS, making his 12th appearance of the season. His 0.66 ERA, 2-0 in the season with 12 strikeouts for the Mountain Lions and 13 2/3 innings of work. Dagan Ring, 1 1/3 inning of work. He is accountable for Udame over at first base as the first pitch from Alterhide to Zach Walsh is called for ball number 1 by the home plate umpire. Walsh 0 for 2 on offense so far today for MSU Denver. 1-0 pitch now from Alterhide. A little bit low. Ball number 2. 2-0 count now for Alterhide and Zach Walsh. Cade Peters on deck for MSU Denver should this inning continue. 2-0 count, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Mountain Lions with the 5-4 lead, but the go-ahead run at home plate. 2-0 pitch now for Alterhide. That's hit over to Anderson. He's able to get it for the 5-4 play, and Clark can't quite manage it, so it'll be safe. And so fielder's choice for Zach Walsh. As now Walsh over at first, Udame over at second. And Hadjic out there to argue the play at the moment, so Anderson able to field it cleanly. Throws it over to Clark, who's covering second base. Looks like a bobble, so they're initially calling it safe. As we see Coach Hadjic there. Having his discussion with the third base umpire and his crew. Still waiting for see if anything different will happen, but the ruling on the field is safe, which would put runners on first and second for MSU Denver with 1 out on the top of the 6th. Third base umpire is going to go and talk over to his counterpart over at first. So we'll see what might happen here. Home plate umpire is also making his way down there as well. So we'll have to see kind of where this leads us. Again, 1 out, top of the 6th is what we're currently sitting at with runners on first and second. Udame at second, Walsh on first for MSU Denver. With the tying run in scoring position, go ahead run at first. 7 scheduled innings here in game number 2, so it's coming down to crunch time for these teams to try to make sure that they can secure the win. UCCS already taken 2-0. They are going to keep them at safe. So that does keep Udame at second, Walsh at first, and Cade Peters at the plate for MSU Denver. Peters had a double and then scored in the 5th inning. That's what tied this game up at 3-3 before the Mountain Lions were able to take the lead 5-3. In the bottom of the 6th, solo home run to lead off to this inning. Made it a 5-4 lead for UCCS, and now with 2 runners on for MSU Denver, the tying run in scoring position. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Cam Alterhide on the plate, on the mound. Here comes the plate. Here comes the pitch. That's in the right field. They're going to bring Udame. Now they're going to keep him at third. So bases are loaded now. Single on the right side for Cade Peters. Moves Walsh to second, and Udame over to third. Bases loaded. 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. Mountain Lions lead by 1. Now the go-ahead run in scoring position for MSU Denver as Owen Reynolds comes up to the plate, has reached base on both of his previous appearances, a single in the 3rd and a walk in the 5th. Hasn't scored on either of those opportunities, though. 5-4 lead for the Mountain Lions. Here comes the pitch from Alterhide. That ball's hit on the right side. It's going to be close. It's going to be just foul. So 0-1 count for Owen Reynolds now. And that was a very close couple, probably a foot to the left. It would have been fair, and we probably would have been seeing at least 2-run score for MSU Denver. Udame at third, Walsh at second, and Peters at third. And in that discussion, forgot to mention, so when when Udame went over to second, that was charged now as an error, fielding error by second baseman Clark. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, fouled off again. 0-2 count now for Owen Reynolds at the plate. Reynolds 1 for 1 at the plate with a single and a walk. Mount Lions leading by 1, trying to keep that lead going into the bottom of the 6th. Hollinger on deck for MSU Denver. Should this inning continue, Mount Lions have already turned 1 double play here in this game. Bases loaded to try to do it again. 0-2 count, 1 out, top of the 6th. Here comes the pitch from Ofterhide. It's in the turf, runners will stay. 1-2 count now for Reynolds. A win for UCCS would put them in a tie with MSU Denver in the conference standings. One-two pitch now from Ofterhide. Swung at a miss, and so strikeout for Ofterhide. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Mount Lions trying to keep MSU Denver at bay right now. 2 outs, so with bases loaded, Jimmy Hollinger ground into a double play in the 3rd inning and a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. Steps into the batter's box as we are looking like we're going to be seeing, we are seeing a new batter. So pinch hitter at number 13, Jake Katitis. We saw him in the first game when he was covering first base. Here comes a pitch from Ofterhide, a little bit outside for ball number 1. Katitis 0 for 3 in game number 1. 1-0 count right now in the top of the 6th. 2 outs, bases loaded for MSU Denver. Top of the order on deck for Roadrunners if we continue. 1-0 pitch swung and a miss. 1-1 count now for Katitis. One count, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 6th inning. Mount Lions lead by 1, 5-4 at Mount Lion Park. Pinch hitter Jake Katitis at the plate. 1-1 pitch now from Ofterhide, outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Katitis. Udame at third, Walsh at second, Peters at first. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Ofterhide. Swung at a miss. Fouled off, looks like. 2-2 count nonetheless for Katitis. 2-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Mount Lions lead by 1 in the top of the 6th inning of the 7-inning contest. Zach Paschke on deck, should we get there? He had a single in the 3rd. Katitis steps back into the box. Ofterhide getting the signal. He's got it. 2-2 pitch is now on the way from Ofterhide. Swung at and fouled off. Count remains at 2-2 for Katitis. 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 6th. Base hit will score 1, if not 2, for MSU Denver, who has the go-ahead run at second. Ofterhide right there. Already 1 strikeout in relief for UCCS. He's got the signal. 2-2 pitch now from Ofterhide. A little bit low. Count now goes full. 3-2 count for Jake Katitis against Cam Ofterhide. Bases loaded. Top of the 6th. UCCS leads by 1. Tying run for the Roadrunners. 90 feet away over at third. Wind blowing slightly out to left field. 3-2 pitches on the way. Runners are going. Swing and a miss. And so Mount Lions get back-to-back strikeouts from Cam Ofterhide and get out of the inning with just sacrificing 1 run. They take a 5-4 lead into the bottom of the 6th, where we'll see these 7, 8, 9 batters in Mallon, Rumsey, McDermott. When we come back, but Ofterhide 2 strikeouts to keep the Mount Lions in the lead at 5-4 when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Bottom of the 6th inning here at UCCS. Mount Lions with the 5-4 lead. As we welcome John Mallon up to the plate. 0-2 for him so far today, facing Taylor Peterson for the first time. Mount Lions able to get out of the top of the 6th, only sacrificing 1 run after MSU Denver loaded the bases with 1 out, as Mallon let that one go by for ball number 1. Jake Peterson right there came in relief in the last inning, picked up 2 strikeouts in the process. 1-0 pitch down the way from Peterson. Goes for strike number 1. 1-1 count now to John Mallon. These next 3 batters for UCCS, Mallon, Rumsey, McDermott, all looking for their first hit of the day. All of them right now 0-2 for the Mount Lions. Mount Lions, though, with the 5-4 lead, trying to take game number 3 of the series, game number 2 of the day. 1-1 count. Pitch is a little high for ball number 2. These 2 teams, Mount Lions trying to move into a tie in the standings with MSU Denver. 2-1 pitch is a little high, as Mallon goes ahead in the count 3-1. UCCS 1 game behind the Roadrunners in the standings in this 3rd to last week of the conference season. 3-1 pitch, and count goes full at 3-2. Update out of Grand Junction, UCCS in 12th ranked Colorado Mesa tied at 1 run apiece, top of the 6th inning, game number 1 of that doubleheader in Grand Junction. 3-2 count right now for Mallon. Here's leadoff batter in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch sent away from Peterson. Swing and a miss. And so 3 strikeouts so far for Taylor Peterson in relief. Back-to-back, including the last strike, including the last out in the 5th, and now the first out of the 6th. Walker Rumsey up to the plate. Ground out to short and ground out to 3rd in the 2nd and 4th innings, respectively. He steps up to the plate, looking for his first hit of the day. After going 0-1 in game number 1 with a run in the 8-0 victory for the Mount Lions. Pitch down the way from Peterson. Strike number 1 called by home plate umpire. Rumsey right there, stepping into the box. Mountain Lions with the 5-4 lead, bottom of the 6th inning. At Mountain Lion Park, these two teams will close out the series tomorrow at noon in the 9-inning game. 0-1 pitch on the way, swing and a miss. And Rumsey now behind in the count 0-2. Peterson looking good so far. Has faced 4 batters and struck out 3 of them in the process. One now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch now from Peterson. Swing and a miss. And so back-to-back strikeouts to open the inning for Taylor Peterson. Quick 2 outs for Mountain Lions as Matt McDermott up to the plate. Pair of ground outs to shortstop in the 2nd and 5th innings. As you see Taylor Peterson right there already with 32 strikeouts on the season, 4 of them coming in today's game. 2 in the 5th and now 2 in the 6th. Peterson trying to strike out the side for MSU Denver and give him a shot in the top of the 7th. McDermott, well-made contact, gets going to left field. Looks like that might go off the scoreboard. And it bounces off. Looks like that will stay in play. And so a stand-up double for Matt McDermott. And is going to keep... It'll keep Taylor Peterson from striking out the side and puts an insurance run for the Mountain Lions in scoring position as we're back to the top of the order. Matt Clark. Clark, a double in the 5th. He walked in the 1st, scored on both of those opportunities. Mountain Lions would like to get something as MSU Denver has scored 1 run in the last 3 innings, trying to prevent this from going to extra innings. As we'll reset here, McDermott will return back to second base. Clark awaiting his first pitch of the day from Peterson. First hit that Peterson has given up so far in relief. Pitch is on the way. Clark is able to check the swing. And we'll take ball number 1. Peels down to first base. First base umpire agrees. Take swing in time. So 1-0 count now for Matt Clark at the plate. 2 outs bottom of the 6th inning. Mountain Lions leading 5-4, but as you can see there, McDermott on second. Trying to add some padding here. 1-0 pitch now on the way and swing and a miss for Clark against Peterson. 1-1 count now for Clark. Matt Berg on deck should the inning continue. For the Mountain Lions. No wind to speak of right now. American flag is straight down right now. Well, I haven't seen wind play too much a factor yet. 1-1 pitch now from Peterson, low inside, but it's going to be called strike number 2. 1-2 count now for Clark. Peterson, 4 strikeouts so far today. He's faced 6 batters, only given up 1 hit. And so far, no runs for the Roadrunners. Matt McDermott right there for the Mountain Lions. On second, he's going to go. He's going to take third. Well, hit ball that's going to right field. It'll be Peters who's going to have to make the play. I don't know if he's not going to be able to. That ball will be fair as McDermott will score from second and as Clark will slide into second. And so McDermott and Clark just switch positions. And now it's a 6-4 lead for the UCCS as McDermott able to score. Double for Matt Clark. Second straight double for him on the day. Every time he's reached base today, he's been able to score. Mountain Lions with that little insurance run going into the top of the 7th as Matt Berg up to the plate. Just like Clark, every time he's reached base, he scored. He had a walk in the 1st and a single in the 5th, scored on both of those opportunities. First time he's going to see Taylor Peterson today. Here comes a pitch from Peterson. Well hit ball that goes into right field. It's going to be Peters who has to make the play again. I don't think he's going to be able to make it in time. Bounces off the wall, bounces off the bottom. It will be at least 1 more run for the Mountain Lions. Berg's going to try to stretch it into a triple. He's going to slide in and is able to do so successfully. So Mountain Lions add 1 more run as Clark comes across the home plate. 7-4 lead for the Mountain Lions as Matt Berg with a triple off the right field wall.
Now batting.
And now Jake Anderson up to the plate. He had a single in the 5th. Last Mountain Lion batter who hasn't seen Taylor Peterson yet. But Mountain Lions, after 2 strikeouts for the first 2 batters, the next 2 batters have already scored. And now Matt Berg over at third for the Mountain Lions. Catcher Udame off to talk to his pitcher right now. And the Mountain Lions able to get some much needed padding right there. Jake Anderson, you see at the plate for the Mountain Lions, has reached base his last 2 times, single in the 5th, a walk in the 3rd after striking out in the 1st inning. Mountain Lions with a 7-4 lead. 2 runs so far here in the bottom of the 6th. They've scored 2 in the 5th and the 6th. They had 3 in the 1st. Mountain Lions with another potential run over at 3rd base with 2 outs. Mountain Lions able to do all this damage with 2 outs on the scoreboard, 3 hits, all of them for extra bases so far. And now we're even up in the hit count, 8-8. Mountain Lions with a 7-4 lead on the scoreboard. Here comes a pitch. That's going to be at least a base hit. That's going to drop in between. Mountain Lions will make it an 8-4 lead. They're going to send Anderson over to second. He's going to be able to get there safely standing up. And so the 4th straight hit for the Mountain Lions. All of them have been for extra bases as Bird comes home and now makes it an 8-4 lead for the Mountain Lions in the bottom of the 6th inning against MSU Denver. Ryan Schmidt, who was the first batter for the Mountain Lions to see Taylor Peterson, struck out swinging last time. Had a home run in the 1st, though. 3-run home run for the Mountain Lions that gave them the early lead. Pitch now from Peterson, a little bit high for ball number 1. So after a pair of strikeouts for the Mountain Lions, it's been a double from McDermott, a double from Clark, a triple from Berg, and now a double from Anderson. As we see Ryan Schmidt right there. 1-0 pitch on the way from Peterson. Swung at, that goes into the netting in front of the press box. 1-1 count now for Schmidt at the plate. Evan Richards on deck should this inning continue. Richards will be looking for his first hit of the day. Mountain Lions able to break this game open here in the bottom of the 6th with 4 straight extra base hits to put them up 8-4. 1-1 pitch from Peterson, just outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Schmidt at the plate. He's looking for his first hit since a home run in the 1st. 1 for 3 for him at the plate. 2-1 pitch from Peterson, swung at and miss, and Schmidt now even at the count, 2-2. Trying to avoid his 3rd straight strikeout. Two outs, bottom of the 6th. Mountain Lions lead by 4, thanks to 3 runs in this inning. And that's going to be a well-hit ball. We'll see at the second baseman. He's going to be able to make it. So Mountain Lions able to add 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, take a 8-4 lead into the top of the 7th. Mountain Lions 3 outs away from taking game number 3 of the series and the second game of the day. When we come back, it'll be the top of the order due up for MSU Denver. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. So busy in between the bottom of the 6th and top of the 7th. First things first, you see Joe Slocum there, new pitcher, replacing Cam Afterhide. Afterhide coming off after the trainer Andrew Track, so something up with Cam Afterhide there, not quite sure what. As Joe Slocum comes in, first pitch he throws to Paschke is low for ball number 1. Slocum 7.34 ERA, 23 strikeouts, making his 12th appearance of the season. Slocum now at the 1-0 pitch, a little bit low for ball number 2. So Slocum really wasn't planning on coming in, not quite sure what happened, but it looks like it was medical dealing with Cam Afterhide. And then at the same time, first base coach for Metro for MSU Denver is no longer over at the first base side. Not quite sure what happened there. I just know he is no longer on the field for MSU Denver. 2-0 pitch is a little bit low. 3-0 count now for Zach Paschke at the plate here in the top of the 7th. Mountain Lions 3 outs away from claiming the 3rd straight game of the series against MSU Denver. 3-0 pitch is a little bit inside, catches the inside for strike number 1. 3-1 pitch is swung out and missed. Full count now for Zach Paschke as Joe Slocum in for the Mountain Lions in relief. Top of the 7th inning, Mountain Lions lead by 4, 8-4. Full count here, leadoff batter in the top of the 7th. Here comes the pitch from Slocum. Swung at, that's over to Anderson. Anderson across the body, he's able to field it, gets over to first base for the 5-3 play. A little bit wide, but is able to make the tag, but is able to keep his foot on the bag for Mallon. 5-3 play, 1 out in the top of the 7th. Chase Anderson now up to the plate. He had a triple in the first and later scored. As we're in the top of the 7th, MSU Denver trying to score 4 runs here to keep this game going. Mountain Lions 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, was able to get the insurance they needed coming into the top of the 7th. Pitch now from Slocum. Strike number 1 called to Chase Anderson. Logan Sewell on deck. He had a home run to lead off the 6th. MSU Denver has scored in each of the last 3 innings. We'll need to do more than that to keep this game alive here in the 7th. Swing and a miss for Chase Anderson. 0-2 count now for him at the plate. 1 out, top of the 7th. Wind going not real strong, but it is going out to center field or left field. Ball just going to left field. Matt Berg is going to be the best one in position to make it. He's all the way back at the fence. Jumps and can't quite make it, so it'll be at least a double for Anderson. He's going to stand up and stay at second. And so a 1 out double for Jake Anderson with a well-hit ball in the left field. Close to home run for the Roadrunners. As Logan Sewell, who had a home run in his last at-bat in the 6th inning. MSU Denver needing to score 4 here to keep this game going. Plenty of sunshine to work with as we see Logan Sewell right there, 1 for 2 at the plate today. 9 hits apiece for each team. Here comes a pitch from Slocum. Well hit ball just going to center field. Rumsey's going to have to be on his motor to get there in time. Is going to drop in between Rumsey and Berg. That'll bring Chase Anderson home as Sewell slides into second. And so 1 run for MSU Denver here in the top of the 7th makes it an 8-5 game. As Logan Sewell slides into second with that well-hit double. Matt Malkin now at the plate. Had a triple and then scored in the 4th, but he's 1 for 3 at the plate. The tying run on deck for MSU Denver. Logan Sewell on second for the Roadrunners, 1 out, top of the 7th. Malkin at the plate. First pitch he sees now from Slocum, a little low for ball number 1. Almost gets away from Schmidt, but runner stays at second for the Roadrunners. 10 hits for MSU Denver today, but still down in the overall score count, 8-5. 1-0 pitch now from Slocum. That bounces in turf on the far side. They're going to try to get the runner a second. They might get it, and they did. And so Logan Sewell had a little bit too much of a lead, and Ryan Schmidt able to keep that ball from going past him and able to make that quick play over to Clark at second base. And so Logan Sewell is picked off in the process. Now 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Matt Malkin with a 2-0 count at the plate. So Matt Malkin at the plate, 2-0 count, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Quick play, but it looked like just in real time that correct call by the umpire. As we reset the scoreboard, 2-0 count, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Malkin trying to keep this game alive for the Roadrunners. 2-0 pitch now from Slocum. Swung at, that's going to go into center field. It's going to be Rumsey with the best one to play it. He's going to have to make that play at the wall. It goes over him a little bit. And so a home run for MSU Denver as Matt Malkin trucks around the plate. And so that cuts the lead down to 8-6 for UCCS. Second run of the inning for the Roadrunners. They need 2 more to keep this game alive with 2 outs. Draven Udame at the plate. He had a single into 6 but hasn't scored. 1 for 2 at the plate. Tying run for MSU Denver on deck. First base umpire and MSU Denver first base coach. I think it looks like their brims are touching. Home plate umpire has walked down, and third base umpire providing support. Not quite sure what's going on. Now the home plate umpire is between the first base umpire and first base coach. Not quite sure what's going on there. A home run is a home run. See what happens. I may need to find a new first base coach. And they are. So the action continues. Not quite sure what was going on there or what there was to argue in the process. But now MSU Denver replacing their first base coach once again. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Tying run for Roadrunners on deck. Draven Udame with a hit in his last at bat in the 6th inning. And looking over and across the dugout, he is being escorted out of the facility completely. So the sideline activity continuing. See if we might be able to find something out about that. Pitch now from Slocum, fouled off for, I believe, strike number 1. Board is showing 0-2, but I think it was just the first pitch that we've seen, unless I missed something. It's been a interesting top of the 7th, to say the least. Pitch now from Slocum. Tried to strike the swing. They're going to say he swung, so that was a 0-2 count. So a strikeout swing, and Mount Lions able to take Game 3 of the series 8-6 with a strikeout from Zoe Slocum. He's able to come in quick relief for the Mount Lions as they improve to 26-15 and 18-9 in the conference. They move into a tie in the conference standings with MSU Denver 18-9. For the Mount Lions, they're able to move into that. So for the Mount Lions, they're able to explode in the last few innings and take this game with an 8-6 with 8-6 lead for the win against MSU Denver. Mount Lions, as I said, able to move into a tie with MSU Denver and extend their winning streak both overall and at home. For the Mount Lions, great pitching performances. MSU Denver only needing to use 2 pitchers. Looks like on a quick count, combining for 10 strikeouts for the Roadrunners so far today. Mount Lions and Roadrunners will meet again tomorrow for game number 4 of this series. First pitch is at noon for the Mountain Lions to take a potential sweep of this series here at Mount Lion Park. Mountain Lions looking to jump Roadrunners in the standings going into the extended extra day of break because of the Easter holiday. As we get ready to sign off here, I want to thank all of our cast and crew here at Mountain Lion Park. It was a long day. They were also at Security Service Field while I was not. I missed a great game from what it looks like. From the recap, I want to thank everyone for their hard work today. We'll see you all back here at noon tomorrow at Mount Lion Park. So long from UC Colorado Springs.